The thing that for me was so incredible was the fact that we have all of these stories about Al Capone and, you know, the prohibition and bootlegging and all of these things. And it's always sort of like anytime you try to get the truth, it's like you're reaching for plumes of smoke, and the smoke is sort of just, you're not able to grab onto it. But for a few moments in the tunnels, we were able to grab onto some very real history. We were able to connect with some of these historical figures. This page, this messenger boy came through, and it was revealed that he has a very real friendship with Sophie, who was our guest. He probably plays a role in furthering the mythos of the tunnels. It was a really special episode. I'm looking forward to putting that one in the archives, because that's definitely one of my top 10 in the last 8 seasons.
The Moose Jaw Tunnels were fantastic as a location. I mean, I had grown up around Treaty 4 territory, and yet I had never been there. It's crazy to think of. It's one of those experiences where you don't have to go far to find an amazing story. Now, we were literally investigating under the streets of Moose Jaw. One of them is that Al Capone himself, he used to be down there and was a part of the bootlegging prohibition era. The other side of the tunnels really speaks to the Chinese experience in the early 1900s. We had the opportunity to speak to a spirit who was actually really connected to our guest, Sophie, who basically grew up in the tunnels, grew up, seeing them, experiencing them, and experiencing spirit. And this spirit, basically, Bazoo was his name, he basically said, hey, we're pals. And yeah, that was just such a heartwarming connection.
We got thrown off by some of the language of the day with Basil, and yet we were able to connect with Sophie. I think she's reclused herself to being in those tunnels, being a tunnel rat. And all the time she talked about this guardian spirit, she called the River Street Ghost, because he said, this is my pal, and I think that gives her comfort. She may spend most of her life just in that kind of world and that. But Bazu's there to say, I've got your back. Don't worry. But I gotta tell you, that Video Village was the coolest place to be.